This is a demo of Codex Worker. It is a VS Code extension for Codex Editor that sends GPU jobs to a remote server so that you can train a TTS model on your own recorded audio and then generate speech for content you haven't recorded yet. The generated audio gets pulled back into your project automatically. Let me show you how it works. First thing you need to do is install the extension. So you can go View, Extensions, or you can hit Control-Shift-X. That brings up the extensions down here. Now, if you type in Codex Worker, you will get this option right here by J. Lansford. And if you go ahead and click Install, it will install it. Once it's installed, you get a little icon over here which hovers and you see GPU jobs. You click on it and you get this blank panel. If you want to see the privacy policy, you can click on the little shield button here. When you run this tool, you temporarily give access to the GPU Worker account. We'll clone your project, train a model, and then upload the results. Your data will never be used to train models for other projects or users without your explicit permission. Your data will not be shared with any parties beyond the processing infrastructure required to execute your job. Alright, you can see that here in John, I have recorded for John. Now, you need to have more recorded than just one chapter of John. But I'm guessing that since this is English, I probably won't need a whole lot of data. But here we'll go ahead and play some so you can hear. This one was in the beginning with God. Alright, so I will go ahead and start a job for training. So click on this plus button and I say I want to train a job. StableTTS is currently the only model supported, and we're going to train it from scratch. Now, if you previously trained and you realize you needed to train more, you can continue a previous model. But I will go ahead and say train from scratch, and I'm going to make it go for a 300 epochs. I will show you how you know whether or not you trained enough or not once the results come back. You watch the validation loss go down, and if it starts going back up, you know you trained enough. And if it's still going down, well, training more could help. Okay, so I am going to use all available cells. But if for some reason you don't want to train off of all the cells, you can sort. But I'm going to just say all cells for now. And I'm going to call this demo training 1. Okay. And this is for demonstration purpose. I better not show you that I can't spell sometimes. So stuff, it's for stuff. Okay. Here we go. So now we can see we're going to train it. It's not training from scratch. There's a base model that it fetches. I want to check that I understand the privacy about information, and I'm going to submit the job. Alright, so now you can see that it is currently waiting. The training means that it's a training job, not that it's currently training. It's the type of job that is. If I click on this, I can see some information on it. It's pending. It's waiting for the worker to pick it up. So I actually need to run over here and hit sync, or I can wait 5 minutes because my project syncs once every 5 minutes, but I'll go ahead and hit sync manually. And we'll see what it does. Alright, it's been some time. If I had the clock on the screen, you would be able to see how much time, but maybe 20 minutes. And I hit the refresh here, and now you can see that it's been picked up by a worker. If we click on it now, it says that it's currently running. The job's running. Okay, now I am going to sync the project again. Sync. And I'm going to check what the GPU status is. Alright, you can see that the model has finished training. It has a check mark now, and it says complete. I can show you where the model got checked into the GitLab repo. If I go over to the files, location, where are files? Explore. Okay, here we go. There you go. GPU jobs. You can see that's the job. You can see the ID up there matches this ID down here. And you can see right here, we've got this checkpoint and we've got best model. And if you want, you can see these training metrics. But if you scroll down here, you can see here's the training over time, and then here's the training loss. Now, this little star shows where the validation loss was the best. So training longer is not going to help me. I could have stopped at this point, about 60, because I only had one chapter. This may not work very well, but I'm going to run some inference anyways. I'm just running through the steps just for you to see how this works. So I'll go ahead and close this, and we will do an inference run. So I'm going to go over to the jobs here, and we'll say, new job. I want to run an inference. Inference means where you're actually going to use the model. So we're going to say this. We're going to do is text-to-speech, and I'm going to select the checkpoint. So you can see this is what we called it, demo training 1. So, and it has the path to that model. So I'll go ahead and click on that. Now I don't want to generate, if I click all cells, it's going to generate audio for every single verse in this project that doesn't have audio yet. So if it's bad audio, that will be very exciting. So I'm just going to run it for a chapter. So let's include specific cells. And I'm going to, let's do Matthew chapter 1. So type in MAT 1 colon. So now you can see it has all the verses for Matthew chapter 1 selected, and I'm going to click that, select all of you. All right, so I've got Matthew chapter 1 selected. And so now when I do the inference, it's just going to overwrite Matthew chapter 1. Just make sure you don't overwrite your own recording. If you just do everything, it won't overwrite your own stuff. But if you're specifically being specific, don't be specifically specific to overwrite something. So done. Now you can go through and select which voice you want. For me, it's just me, and me. So I'm going to just use the John 1:1 voice. Okay, and now I need to give it a name. Generating Matthew 1. And I won't give it a description. And so here we go. We're going to create a job. And I'll go ahead and submit the job. Alright, so now you can see the jobs up here in the job panel. And I'm going to go ahead, and since I don't want to wait for the 5 minutes to go by for it to sync, I'm going ahead and click the sync button, and that will upload the job manifest. And the worker will come along, find it, and pull the model and my text. And then when it's done generating audio, it will stick them in my project, and all I have to do is hit sync, and it will be in my project. So, and we'll hear what one chapter worth of English works like. Hopefully that works. If it doesn't, it's not representative of what this can do, because you're not supposed to train on just one chapter. But it's an interesting test. Oh, while we're waiting on that, I can go ahead and show you how you train further. So if you're in here and you look at a job and you see your star is like over here at the very end, like it just kept on going down, 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 you can say, oh, well, I should have trained even more. So then you can just create a new job and say, I want to train StableTTS and continue from an existing model like this. And then you can click this and then give the additional epochs you want to train it for. And then you can train even more. Yeah, or let's say You've recorded more audio since last time you made the model, and you want it to take advantage of your new audio. So you can take your existing model and train it again, and then the more audio that you recorded, it will make it even better. Which more better is good. Alright, and it's okay to record off of multiple voices all at once. Once you're wanting to do an inference, you just select a reference of which voice you want it to sound like, and so that you can control it. Okay, now here's a notice to make sure you don't do a bad thing. If you delete your job, you delete your model. Your model is connected to that job, so keep that job around and keep using it. Now, if you train a derivative of it, that will become a new job, so then you can delete the previous job. Otherwise, you'll have both options that you can run inferences from. But don't delete the job that holds the model that you want to keep. Alright, I'm going to show you what the inference looks like at this point. I'll click on it, and you can see it's still pending. I just realized how I can show you how long it took. Click here. It shows when it was submitted and when it completed. So 4:45 to 5:08, that's 23 minutes. It took 23 minutes to train for the 300 epochs. Alright, I did a sync and it's changed the emblem to a play button, so now I know that a worker picked it up and it's running the inference on it. Alright, I'm going to hit sync again. Sync. And now check on the jobs. Hit refresh. And the inference is complete. I'm now going to navigate to Matthew chapter 1 and see how well it worked. Alright, so here we go. Navigate to Matthew chapter 1. Ooh, we can see there's audio in it now. So we're going to open it to Matthew chapter 1. And let's try playing this one.
Judah was the father of Perez and Zerah by Tamar. Perez the father of Hezron, and Hezron the father of Ram.
Well, that was understandable. Not exactly the best quality. Shouldn't train in just one chapter.
Ram was the father of Amminadab, Amminadab the father of Nashon, and Nashon the father of Salmon. Salmon was the father of Boaz by Rahab, Boaz the father of Obed by Ruth, Obed the father of Jesse. Jesse was the father of David the king, David the father of Solomon by the wife of Uriah. Solomon was the father of Rehoboam, Rehoboam the father of Abiah, Abiah the father of Asa.
Now, if I train again now, I'll have to make sure I don't include this in the training. So that would be a reason why to be specific on the selection. That's the demo. Goodbye.